students in grade 9, good afternoon. Welcome to our English seminar for today, in which we are going to talk about Unit 8 in your student's book and in your activity book. Before we start the seminar, would you please welcome with me our colleagues who are going to participate in the seminar. Ms. Ruba Al-Hafiz, an English teacher from Tartus City. Good afternoon, Ms. Ruba.
Good afternoon, Ms. Umayma.
You are welcome.
Thanks a lot.
And Mr. Marwan Al-Halabi, an English supervisor from Sweda City. Good afternoon, Mr. Marwan.
Good afternoon, Ms. Umayma. You are welcome also.
You are welcome. Thank you for participating us today. And dear students in grade 9, dear colleagues, let me first note that this is a session, this is a seminar, this is not a lesson. We are not going to give you a lesson in English. We are just going to discuss, to clarify and to organize certain items and points related to Unit 8. You know, dear, that in Unit 8 we have the 4 skills to be discussed. We have the reading, the writing, the listening, and the speaking. And we are going to talk, I hope that we have time to talk about and to cover all of these skills. So let me first use the laptop and start talking about the unit. You know that in Unit 8, if we go to the laptop, thank you. Well, you know that we have problem solving. Here the units have the critical thinking and problem solving. I hope that we have time to talk about it. Then we will go to talk about many things, the vocabularies, the functions of the unit. So dear colleagues, if we talk about Unit 8, would you please, Ms. Ruba, start the session and tell us about the items in this unit?
Okay. In problem solving, we have many vocabularies and we have common expressions. The first one is apologize.
Yes.
So in which we are going to know how to apologize. And also we have counselor. Maybe a counselor be your father, your mother, your friend, etc. Also we have problems and we are going to discuss these problems. We have to focus on them and we have some puzzles to focus on them.
Thank you very much. You mean that we have some common expressions to talk about,
Yes.
certain vocabularies, like apologize, the counselor, the problems. We will focus on problems and we will help our students to know how to be able to solve certain problems and things related to this. Thank you very much, Ms. Ruba. Would you like to add about it? About the unit and its functions,
yes.
please?
We have some functions. We have conditional sentences. Also, we have reading and discussing a story. We have discussing personal problems, giving advice, and writing explanations.
Thank you very much. Now, you talked about the function, the conditional sentences. You know, dear colleagues, that in the previous session, our colleagues had explained about the conditional sentences, but we know that in Unit 8, we are going to talk, because in grammar, we have the second condition. So let's talk about them. Let's clarify to our students the conditional sentences and talk about them. Now, what's a conditional sentence? What tense do we use? How do we change? How do we make conditional sentences? How to change the tense in order to make? Let's explain this. Would you please, Mr. Marwan, clarify the point for us?
You know, Unit 8 deals with conditional sentences concerning grammar. In conditional sentences, we are talking about a two-part sentence. This means that the conditional sentence, as it is the case in any language, consists of two parts. The if clause, which is the first part, which is the condition.
Good.
And then the main clause, or sometimes we call it the result clause. Mm-hmm. In conditional sentences, one part begins with if, and the second part is the result, would be the result. We use conditional sentences that if something is true, then the result will happen, and vice versa. If something is not true, the result won't happen. This is the aim of a conditional sentence, to talk about something that will happen or will not happen in the future, depending on something in the present or in the past. So this is the aim of the conditional sentence. In brief, we can say that the conditional sentence consists of two main parts, the if clause and the result clause. Like, for example, we say, if I hear any news, I will phone you, or I'll phone you, or I will phone you if I hear some news or any news. This is a general idea about the conditional sentence in brief. So, if clause, result clause. We can begin with if clause and finish the sentence with the result, and vice versa. It depends on the intention of the speaker. If the speaker wants to speak about the result before the condition, it's up to the speaker. So we can begin with if sentence or with the main clause.
Thank you. Yeah. Yes, thank you very much. So you are talking about the if clause and the main clause.
Yeah.
Would you please give us an idea about the zero conditional before talking about the types of the conditional sentences?
Okay. In general, conditional sentences, we have four types of conditional sentences, including the zero form. The zero form, it is called the zero form because the two parts of the sentence are the same tense, simple present, simple present. This kind of the zero conditional, this kind or type of conditionals is used to describe things which are called facts or general facts. Like, for example, if you eat poison, we don't have to say you will die. You die.
Yes.
So this is a
Although
general
we have
fact.
a condition here.
Yeah. It is a condition, but it is a fact. So we don't have to say you will. If you heat ice, it melts. It's a physical or general fact. So the zero conditional used to speak about general facts. By the way, in this type of conditional sentence, we can replace the word if with the word when. When you heat ice, it melts. Is the same meaning of if you heat ice, it melts. This is the aim of zero conditional sentences, talking about general facts or something that is always real, that is always is considered as a fact.
Yes, that's right.
Also, we can begin with the if clause and finish the sentence with the main clause and vice versa.
Thank you very much. Now, you say that we can start with the if clause or we can start with the result sentence with the zero conditional. Now, what about the conditional sentences and the types? We have types and we have sentence, we have things. Would you please, Mr. Marwan?
Yeah. The conditional sentences in general, as I said earlier, we have four types. We spoke about the zero conditional. Now we have the main three parts or the main three patterns of conditional sentences. The first part, the second conditional, and the third conditional. I will give you just examples because we are going to talk in details about each one of these patterns. The first conditional, like for example, if it rains, I will take the umbrella. If it rains, I will take the umbrella. I'll take the umbrella if it rains. So the condition is if it rains, and the result or the main clause, I will take the umbrella. The second conditional, if it rained, I would take the umbrella. So the difference here is in the structure, and of course the meaning is different. What we mean by changing the tenses would be different or would have another meaning. So if it rained, I would take the umbrella. If we took the bus, it would be cheaper. This is different from if we take the bus, it will be cheaper. The third type or the third conditional sentence, which is in order not to confuse our students, the third type, which is not included in their book, but yes, we have to shed light on this type because you can't leave it aside because it's part of the conditional sentence. The third type is if we had taken the past, the tense here is completely changed into the past perfect. If we had taken the bus, it would have been cheaper. So, or it would have been cheaper if we had taken the bus. These are the main three types of conditional sentences. I will repeat them in brief and through examples. If it rains, I will take an umbrella. The same example in a different pattern. If it rained, I would take the umbrella. Mm-hmm. The third one, if it had rained, I would have taken the umbrella. These are the conditional sentences and the types of conditional sentences with examples. We are going to talk about each one in details, why we use the first conditional, then the second, and so forth. Okay?
Thank you very much, Mr. Marwan.
You're welcome.
You have clarified the three sentences, examples to clarify, and thank you for mentioning that the third conditional is not mentioned in this. You'll not include it for the grade 9, sorry.
Yeah.
But we have to speak about it as it's related to the grammar itself.
Yeah.
Now, would you please, Ms. Ruba, speak about its types, as Mr. Marwan said, to start with the first conditional.
Okay. As Mr. Marwan said, first conditional, every conditional sentence should consist of two parts, if clause and main clause or result clause. At first, in the first conditional, we should put present simple with if, and in the other side of the sentence, we should put will plus infinitive or simple future. For example, if we say, if it rains, I will wear a jacket. So here the first part is the condition part, and as a result of raining, we will wear a jacket. So we have two parts. We have the if clause and the main clause. The if clause should be in the present simple, and the main clause should be with simple future, will plus infinitive. Also, as he said, we can say she will watch TV if she has time.
Yes, that's right. Thank you very much. So you talked about the first condition.
Yes. So when we say it first conditional, we have to know why do we use, or when do we use part or this type of conditional. We use it as it refers to a possible future action.
Right.
For example, if you post the letter today, it will get there by Thursday. And also, if you don't hurry, the others will go without you. So as a result of being late, you will miss something. What is it? It's the others will go without you. So as I said, the first conditional, simple past, simple present in the if clause, and simple future in the other.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So you are speaking about the possible future action.
Yes.
Possible future action. If you don't hurry, you will miss the bus, you will miss your friends, you will be late if you don't hurry, okay? So this is possible future, right? Thank you very much. Would you please continue, Mr. Marwan?
Yeah, but I have something to add concerning the first conditional, or to join some ideas. Because we have something to describe the possibility or the probability in the future or the present, in English, there should be a way to describe the improbability or the impossibility, so to speak. That's why we have the second conditional. What I mean, in the first conditional, we describe the possibility in the future or in the present. But what about the impossible or the improbable? So, what I mean by improbable is something that is not true. Like, for example, you are not me, and I am not you. This is improbable or impossible, so it is untrue. How do we express this in English? Using conditional sentences, we use the second conditional.
That's
so
right.
The second conditional, to conclude, the second conditional is used to describe improbable events in the future. What I mean by improbable, as I said, something which is not true, which is not real. The concept here is to focus on the future or present in a situation of low probability. The probability is low. The possibility is low. This is the second conditional. In brief, we use the second conditional to speak about the present, but the present is not true, or the situation in the present is not true. Like the example I said. The if clause, although this type of conditional sentence used, although this type is used to speak about the present, but we have to use the simple past in the if clause. So the if clause would be simple past, and the main clause is would plus infinitive. For example, I don't have a car. This is a present situation. I don't have a car. It is something like wishing, you know. If I want to use a conditional sentence concerning this sentence, I would say, if I had a car. If I had a car means I don't have a car. So when you are going to speak about something that you don't have, you can't do, you can't be, you use the second conditional. If I had more money, this means that I don't have money. See the meaning of the second conditional? It's very important in English because it covers many areas of speech and many areas and many conditions. I don't have money. How do I express it in English? To have money. If I had money. If I had money, I would buy a car. I wouldn't be able to buy a car because I don't have money. This expression in English is called second conditional English, which is contrary to fact, contrary to present. That's why I said we use the second conditional to speak about the present using the simple past. By the way, it's not real past here. In English, we used to call it unreal past because we are speaking about something unreal, so we use the simple
Well,
past.
I hope that our students don't get confused by this idea that we are using the past, but we are talking about something unreal, right? So I hope that they don't get confused. We are talking about something unreal, imaginary.
Yeah, imaginary. As I said to you, you are not me and I am not you. We say in English, if I were you. If I were you. Why don't we say if I am you? It's wrong in English. If I am you, no. If I were you, as they say in English, if I were in your shoes, means if I were you, I would do so and so. That's the point. That's the point of the second conditional, to express something about the present which is unreal. In English, we call this imaginary situation or hypothesis. Hypothesis means unreal situation.
Sorry for interrupting. Would you please have a break? Yes, please. A break. Yes, dear, welcome back to our seminar. We were talking about the conditional sentences in Unit 8, and Mr. Marwan was explaining the second conditional. Sorry for the interruption. Yes, Mr. Marwan, would you please continue?
Okay, in a brief, I will reiterate what I have been saying. The second conditional is used to speak or to talk about a present situation which is unreal situation. As I said, I don't have a car. I say in English, if I had a car. If I had a car now, not in the past. If I had a car now, I would go to work driving, etc. I don't have money. I say in English, if I had enough money, I would buy a car. The main clause, which is I would buy a car, denotes that I don't have money. How do I express not having money now at present? I use the simple past. As I said, it's not a past, it's not a real past. We used to call it unreal past, just to say that something is untrue in the present or in the future.
Well, thank you very much. You have clarified the point clearly. Would you please tell us more about the second conditional? Is it? Would you like to continue?
I can give you an example if the example which read in the if I had £1 million, I would probably buy a house. This sentence means that I don't have £1 million. Now, it would be awful if you lost your passport, or if you lost your passport, it would be awful. Here the past tense is in the if clause. The if clause refers to something unreal or something we call it imaginary, or we call it in English hypothesis. Hypothesis means unreal, untrue. How do I speak about something untrue in English? We use the second conditional. If I were you, if I told you. For example, I don't see my friend so often. I don't see my friend so often, and I miss him or her. I can say in English, if I saw her, if I saw him, I would tell him so and so.
That's right.
This is the aim of the second conditional.
Thank you very much. You have clarified the point really. To move to the third conditional, as I mentioned, it's not included in the student's book, but we have to talk about it. Would you please, Ms. Ruba?
Yes, as Mr. Marwan said before, in the third conditional, we have to use past perfect with the if clause, had plus verb 3. And we have to use would plus have plus verb 3 as in the result clause. So, for example, if I had known about the party, I would have gone. Here in the first part, or in the if clause, we have past perfect, had plus verb 3. And in the other part, or the result part, we have would and have plus verb 3. Also, we can say we can begin with the result clause. I would have gone to the party if I had known about it.
That's right. Thank you very much.
So we use this conditional to talk about what didn't happen.
That's right.
Things that didn't happen.
Things that didn't happen. That's right. Would you please clarify the point by giving us more examples?
Yes. For example, we lost the match. If we had won the match, we would have got through the final. So here, we lost the match. It's the result.
Means that we lost the match.
Yes, we didn't win, and we didn't.
Yes.
Okay. We waste time. If we had taken your advice, we would have saved a lot of time. Also, as I said before, we use this to talk about what didn't happen. So here we waste time. So we didn't listen to your advice, and we waste time.
That's why we waste time. But this thing didn't happen. It means that if we had taken your advice, we didn't take your advice, so we didn't save time, right? That's right. Thank you very much. Now, would you please, let's clarify the point by doing some exercises in order to correct the tense between brackets.
Yes.
We have some sentences. We are going to use the conditions here, the first, the second, or the third.
Yes.
Let's start. Who would like to start? Yes, please.
Can I add something before going into doing the exercises? To sum up, it's a good to make a sum up of the conditional, the three main types of conditionals. First conditional, second conditional. This talk is directed or addressed to students who need this. Some students need to repeat the idea in words, in few words. We have three types. First type, second type, third type. The first type is to talk about a possibility in the future. It's general. The second type, in which we use the past, is used to speak about the present. The third type is used to speak about the past, about something in the past which didn't happen. Just I like it to make a kind of summary of the three main types of conditional sentences. First one, future. Second one, present. Third one, past.
Thank you very much. Very useful advice. Thank you very much that you summarize and give this. Thank you. Anything? Do you want to add something?
No, just
to do it. Okay, let's start doing it.
We're going into the exercises to see what is or what are our students supposed to do and how should they deal with this kind of grammar in the exercise or through their books or through the exercises included in their books.
Yes.
The rubrics goes like correct the verbs in brackets as it is the case in the exam, because our students are most concerned about the exam and they are always after the mark. Correct the verbs in brackets. Because we are dealing with the 9th grade students, the two parts of the conditional sentence are not needed, are not wanted, so to speak, from them to deal with. We will give them one part solved, and they will depend on this part to know which type of the sentence it is, which type of a conditional sentence it is, and solve the question. Like the first question, for example, I, between brackets, phone, the verb phone, you, if I arrive early. Whenever I see, or as soon as I see if I arrive, as a student, I have to know the conjugation of verbs. Arrive is simple present. Simple present means that this type of conditional sentence is type 1 or pattern 1. Pattern 1 reads like, if clause, simple present, main clause, will plus infinitive. So I should, as a student, and as a teacher also, put the main clause in the simple future, which is will and or plus verb 1 or plus infinitive. The answer will be, I will phone you if I arrive early.
Yes.
Okay?
That's right. Thank you very much. I will phone you if I arrive early, as you said. We have the verb phone, which is in brackets, and we, in order to do the conditional, to condition correctly, we need to add will to this verb, and I will phone you if I arrive early. Yes, please. Yes, continue, please.
Now, the second one, if you told me a secret, I not tell anyone. As Mr. Marwan said in the first condition, we have past simple, so it is the second conditional. So you have to know that if we have past simple in the if clause, we have to put the verb with would plus infinitive. So the answer will be, if you told me a secret, I would not tell anyone.
That's right. Thank you very much. If you told, as you say, that told is in the past.
Tense, yes.
So we have to use the past.
Yes.
Type
Wouldn't tell anyone.
Wouldn't tell anyone. Thank you very much. Yes, please.
Yeah. Before going into considering the third sentence, I'd like to add something funny to the second sentence. if you told me a secret, you know this sentence is very common among friends. It's very good for speaking, to improve and enhance your speaking. Most of people say it. For example, if there were two friends talking to each other, and one is saying, tell me, don't be afraid, tell me. I'm saying this in order to enhance speaking, you know. Tell me, don't afraid, tell me. I won't tell anyone. I won't means I will not. Tell me, I won't. But if the speaker uses the conditional sentence, he will say, if you told me, I wouldn't say it. If you told me, and sometimes in informal English, they sum up or they cut it short. Told me, I wouldn't say to anyone. Told me, don't be afraid. See, just this. I have to add this idea.
Thank you for this addition. Thank you very much.
For the third sentence, if I be you, this sentence sometimes creates some kind of confusion among even English speakers. What about our students? If I be you, some students, before explaining this, I would like to go on reading. I would apologize. I would apologize.
Mr. Marwan.
Yeah, denotes that this sentence is second conditional.
There is a phone call. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, please. Yes, please. Good afternoon.
Hello.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Well,
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Taxi.
Sorry, I can't hear. Would you please speak up?
I am very sorry, but
Would you please
taxi?
speak up? Would you please speak up? Speak up. Okay.
Disconnect.
Thank you very much. Would you please complete? Sorry for the interruption.
Never mind.
Yes.
It's the third sentence. I was reading, if I be you, I would apologize. When you see I would apologize, you know directly that it is a second conditional sentence, because would plus infinitive means that the conditional here is second. So the second condition says the if clause should be in the past simple or simple past. If I were you. If I were you. As I said, this kind of sentence sometimes creates some kind of confusion even among English speakers. Some people would prefer to say if I was you. Some people say if I were you. I think for our students, if the student writes if I were or if I was, his or her answer would be accepted, because we are not going into the depth of this grammatical situation. But we call this in English subjunctive mode, which is to talk about something which is unreal, as I mentioned earlier. I'm not you.
Yes.
So if I were you, so we use were. We use, if someone asked what is the difference between were and was, I can, if we have time, I can tell in brief the grammatical rule here. We use if I were when we are wishful, when we wish something to happen. I am not you. I say if I were you, meaning, or I mean, I wish that I were you. So when we are wishful, we are full of wish. When we have a wish to do something or to be someone, we use if I were. Otherwise, we use if I was.
Yes.
If I was. So the answer here, if I were you, because I'm not you, it is a second conditional. If I were you, I would apologize to the teacher for being impolite.
Yes, thank you very much. Next.
Yes, the next one. If I were rich. So from this word, we have to know that here we have second conditional, and we use the past symbol in the if clause. So we have to continue with the past. We have to put would plus infinitive. So the answer will be, if I were rich, I would buy my parents a new car. Okay.
Yes, thank you very much. We have a phone call. Yes, please. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Yes, would you please speak up? we have a phone call from Latakia, and I can't hear the caller. Yes, please speak up. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm fine.
Hello, Sally. Sally, you have a question?
Yes, I have a question
Are you in
about...
grade 9?
Yes,
Are you following us?
yes.
You are welcome. Yes, please. You have a question, you say?
I want to ask about exercise 5, number 45.
Which book? Is it in the student or activity book?
Activity
Activity book, exercise number
5.
5. Yes, exercise number 5 in the activity book. Sally is asking,
Yeah.
would you please, Mr. Marwan?
Yeah. What is the question? Do I have to read the whole? Which one? We have 1, 2, 3. We have 3
exercise-
kinds of conversation.
Would you like us to do the exercise, or just you have a question about concerning one item or one sentence? Would you like us to do the exercise, all the exercise 5?
Yes. Yes, please.
Yes, of course, you are welcome. Follow us, please.
You know, this exercise is doesn't have to do anything with conditional sentences. It's just about complete the dialogue. It's a kind of dialogue. Use these words or phrases, just filling in the gaps. Number 1, I feel sad that you are leaving this school, Majida. So do I. We must promise to keep in touch. You know, keep in touch, keep in contact. This is number 1. Is it clear?
Are you following? Mr. Marwan is talking about the exercise and the answers. Are you following, Sally?
Yes.
Yes, good.
Yeah. The second conversation or the second dialogue begins with, I'm bored, Mom. Someone is talking to her or to his mom. I'm bored, Mom. If I were you, I take up a hobby. Take up a hobby. Take up means to practice something, to practice a sport or whatever. If I were you, I would take up a hobby, join a club or something. She's giving her or him an idea about join a club or something. It is a good way to make new friends and talk to people. It's a good way to make new friends and talk to people. If you started something new, I'm filling in the gap from the box above. If you started something new, it would stop you from being bored. See, this sentence is a conditional sentence. It is type number 2 or second conditional sentence. If you started something new, it would stop you from being bored. Number 3, Mrs. Hakim, I want to say sorry about what happened to your vase. I was carrying it to the shelf when I dropped it and it broke into 2 pieces. I promise I'll try and mend it with glue. You know the meaning of mend it with glue, when you attach 2 things together with a kind of glue. B, it's all right, just be careful next time. So this exercise has 1 or 2 sentences concerning conditional sentences, but the rest is just kind of filling in the gaps with the most suitable words to continue the conversation between 2 people talking to each other.
Thank you very much,
Is
Mr.
it clear
Marwan.
now,
Is it clear, Sally?
Sally?
Mr.
Thank
Marwan
you.
has answered and explained and filled in spaces with the words. Here we have to fill in spaces. Is it clear? Have you got any other question? Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Marwan,
You're welcome.
for doing it. And let's go back to the laptop and to correcting the verbs in brackets. We were talking about the conditional sentences, and we were on, yes?
Yes, the next
Yes,
one.
would you please?
Yes. if I see the accident, I would have phoned for help. Here, the result part or the result condition, we have would plus have plus verb 3. So it is the third conditional. So we have to put past perfect. We have to say, if I had seen the accident, I would have phoned for help.
That's right. Thank you very much. As you said, if I had seen the accident, because we have would have phoned, and we notice would have phoned. Here we have the verb. The main verb is in the verb 3, or we say the past participle, right? We mentioned that after the will and would, we use the verb 1, the infinitive. Let's note this for the students, our students in grade 9, the infinitive and the past participle.
Yeah.
Well, when doing when we were talking about the first condition and the second, we say that after will or after would, we use the infinitive form of the verb. While here, when talking about the third condition or the third type, we use the past participle or verb 3.
Yeah, it's a general rule in English. After modal auxiliaries, we use the per infinitive.
Right.
Modal auxiliary, we use the per infinitive.
Yes. Yes,
okay.
please.
We have the last sentence. The last sentence is similar to the previous one, to some degree. In this sentence, I'd like to, first of all, you know me, I'd like to explain before doing something.
Yes, go ahead. Thank you
in
very
this
much.
sentence, because it's a little bit long sentence, we have a driver. We have a driver and a seat belt. And it is a good chance to give advice to drivers in our beloved country, Syria, to fasten their seat belts, because the seat belt is for him or her, not for others on the street. So we have a driver that didn't fasten, means didn't put, so to speak, his seat belt. How do we express it in English? We use the if you are going to use the conditional sentence, we use the third condition, because this driver didn't put or fasten his seatbelt. We say if he had fastened. We say if he had fastened, because he didn't.
Yes.
Because he didn't do this.
You are right.
If he had fastened his seatbelt, the main clause would be he would have saved his life. What we understand out of this sentence, that he didn't save his life because he didn't fasten his seat belt.
Yes.
So the third condition, as we talked about it, which we use it to speak about something unreal in the past, or something that wasn't or didn't happen in the past.
Thank you very much. And we have another phone call.
Yeah.
Yes, please. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, miss.
Iyad, you are Iyad from Latakia. You are welcome. Are you in grade 9?
Yes.
Yes, you are welcome, Iyad. Have you got a question?
Yes, I have just one question, please.
Would you please speak up? I can't hear you. Sorry, Iyad, would you please repeat and speak up, because I can't hear you?
Yeah, on the activity book,
Activity book, yes.
page 45.
Page 45, yes.
Yeah,
Same.
exercise 6, please.
Exercise number 6. You are welcome, and be with us, follow us in order to do the exercise. Thank you. Yes, please. Would you like, yes?
Yes, I'll answer you. Here in this exercise, you have to rewrite Nasser's exercise number 6.
Exercise number 6, yes.
We are going to rewrite Nasser's mother's warnings. We have some warnings using if I were you.
Yes, right.
This is the second conditional.
The second condition. Yes, Iyad, we are doing the exercise. Rewrite Nasser's mother's warning, okay? Well, it's shown on the laptop. Yes, please.
Number 1, don't come home too late.
Yes.
If I were you, I wouldn't come home too late. So here, as we said, it's the second conditional. We have to use past symbol in the if clause and would plus infinitive in the result clause or the main clause.
That's right. Thank you.
Yes. Do you follow me? The first one is done. Number 2, you should take a coat. If I were you, I'd take a coat, or I would take a coat.
Yes.
Yes.
You notice, Iyad, that you should take a coat. This is the mother's warning, okay? And you have to use if I were you. We are going to talk about the advice and the warnings later on. Would you please follow us, because we are going to talk about these things in detail. Well,
Yes, of
you
course.
should take a coat, okay? If I were you, I would take a coat. If I were you, I would take a coat.
Yeah.
Now, number 3, you shouldn't wait for the bus alone. So also we have to use past simple with would and infinitive. If I were you, I wouldn't wait for the bus alone.
Yeah.
Is it clear? Is it clear, Iyad?
Yeah, I understand that.
Yes, good.
And number 4, take some money with you. If I were you, I would take some money with me.
With me. Mm.
You have to change you into me, because
Into
you
me,
give
yes, I know that.
an advice.
Good.
Number 5, find out what time the last bus leaves. You have to say, if I were you, I would find out what time the last bus leaves.
Mm.
Okay.
Well, thank you very much. Is it clear, Iyad?
Yes, thank you very much.
Yes,
it's,
you are welcome.
So clear now.
Do you have another question? Any other?
No, just that.
If I
thank
were you, I would have a full mark in English in all the subjects. Right? You are welcome. You are welcome. Thank you,
Thanks
dear
a lot.
colleagues.
Thank you.
Let's go back to
Doing the
doing
exercises,
the exercise. Yes.
correction of verbs and brackets,
Correction.
or putting verbs in the correct tense.
Yes. That's right.
The
Correct the verbs in brackets.
The first sentence is, if I have enough money, I go to Canada. The if clause, or the condition here, is if I have money. By the way, have here, I should say it, have here is or has a weak form. Because if I have money, it means that if I get money. Have here means get enough money. So if I get enough money, this is first conditional. I say I will go to Canada. I will read the sentence again. If I have enough money, we don't usually say if I have enough money, because the second sentence will clarify what I'm saying. If I had. The first sentence would read, if I have enough money means if I get enough money, I will go to Canada.
Will you?
Okay. Yeah.
Canada? If I have enough money, I will stay.
I will take it into consideration. Yeah.
That's right. Thank you very much. So I will go. If I have, I will go. Thank you. Yes, please.
Number 2, if I had enough money, as we said before, here we have second conditional, because we have past tense in the if clause. So we have to put the main clause or the result clause with would plus infinitive. So the answer will be, if I had enough money, I would go to Canada.
That's right. Thank you. If I had, I would go. If I had enough money, I would go to Canada. And we are using the second condition. Thank you. Yes, please. Next.
Yeah, the third sentence talks about the past. If I have enough money, I would have gone. I would have gone to Canada means I didn't go. I would have gone to Canada means
It means I didn't go.
I didn't go.
That's right.
Why didn't you go? Because I didn't have money. How do I express it in using conditional sentences? I use third type. I say if I had enough money. I will repeat, if I had enough money, I would have gone to Canada. But I didn't have money, and I didn't go.
Yes, I didn't have, I didn't
This
go.
is the
That's
aim
right.
of the third conditional sentence.
That's right. Thank you. Yes, please.
If I be you, I would apologize to the teacher. So also here we have second conditional. We have the result clause that has would plus infinitive. So I have to say, if I were you, I would apologize to the teacher.
That's right. Thank you very much. Yes, please.
I think you have to read the next sentence because it is
related.
about the third conditional. You have to read it, please,
Yes.
Ms. Ruba.
If the driver hadn't driven too fast, he not have an accident. So as Mr. Marwan said, here we have third conditional. We have past perfect. So the other part should have would plus have plus verb 3. So the answer would be, if the driver hadn't driven too fast, he wouldn't have had an accident.
That's right. He wouldn't have had, because
Yes.
the main verb here is have.
Have, yes.
Wouldn't have had.
Wouldn't have
the
had
past
an
participle,
accident.
Past participle of have is had.
So,
Is had the
so he
same.
had an accident.
So he had an
He
accident.
had an
That's
accident. Yeah. The next sentence, it is second conditional, because we say if we didn't have electricity, if we didn't have electricity, modern life be difficult. Second conditional, the answer is modern life would be difficult. But we have electricity. We have electricity, you know. If we want to talk about this using conditional sentences, we are going to speak about something which is not present, for example. Electricity is present. To use it in a conditional sentence, to express not having electricity, we use the second condition. We say if we didn't have. If we didn't have means we have. This is, I'm just explaining the aim to our students, the aim of the second. It is so important in English, so important, because the first conditional is something general. The third conditional is something about the past. The second, I focus on the second conditional because it's so important. If we didn't have electricity means we have. If we didn't have electricity, modern life would be difficult. That's it.
Thank you very much. We have a phone call before we continue. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Yes, we have a phone call from Dar'a. Yes, good afternoon. I can't hear the caller. Yes, please.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Would you please speak up?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Hello.
Hello, how are you? Would you please speak up? I can't hear you. Would
How
you
are
please
you?
speak up? Yes, please. Yes, Fatmi from Dar'a.
wanted
Yes,
to
please.
ask some questions about the exam.
Sorry? What's your question? What do you want us to explain or to do some exercise? Yes,
I
please.
want to ask about some questions.
Yes, you would like to ask some questions. Yes, go ahead. We are all ears. We are ready to answer your questions. Yes, Fatmi.
The questions of the text.
To the text, yes, you are welcome.
Which page?
Student
Can
book
be
or
difficult.
activity book?
Or unclear.
Student book? Student, is it in the student or activity? Student book? Well, in the student book, we have in Unit 8, you know, we are going to talk about the reading stage, the reading, speaking, and listening skills, and we will focus on. But I would like to know your question, dear Fatmi. What's your question? Would you like us to read, to explain, to clarify, to do an exercise?
There isn't any certain text. I ask about the text in the exam.
The text in
The text, yes, the text. You would like to ask about the text?
the buried city.
The buried city? The buried city? Well, yes, please, Ms. Ruba, give us an idea about the buried city.
Yes.
I think that she's asking about the text
So
itself.
the bird city, we have here a story. We talked about a lot about it. In episode 4 here, we are going to talk about Tariq and Hussein, who went around the theater.
Yes,
in this episode.
Yes, are you following, dear Fatmi? Are you following? Now, Ms. Ruba is talking about the text. She is explaining the story because it's a story. It's an episode of story. Ms. Ruba is explaining. Are you following? Well, I hope that you follow us, okay? Ms. Ruba is answering your question. Yes? Sorry for the interruption, but we didn't hear her question.
Yes.
Yes, please.
So we are going to talk about Tariq and Hussein.
Yes.
They went around the theater, but suddenly they fell down and they fell into the bird city. They tried to turn a fire to find a way out. So Hussein's father called the security guards and they tried to search for them, but they didn't succeed. At the end, we know that Nadia said that for assurance they are in the bird city.
For assurance, they are
in the bird city.
Well, thank you very much.
Welcome.
Thank you very much. Well, you notice, dear Fatmi, if you are still with us, that we were talking about it's a story. Yes, it's a story. Okay. Well,
Can
now
I
we
add
have
something if I got her question?
Yes, we have
Fatmi?
a phone call
Yeah.
first.
Yeah.
Another phone call.
Okay.
Another phone call, and then we will complete what we are
Okay.
doing. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. We have from Latakia, Paul. Yes, Paul from Latakia.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Paul.
Good afternoon.
How are you?
I'm fine, and you?
I'm fine, thank you. Are you in grade 9?
Yeah.
Are you studying?
Yep, I'm studying now.
Very nice. How's your English?
Not very
I can
much.
find that he is brilliant. He's
Not bad.
perfect in
He's
English.
She's saying not bad.
Thank you.
Yes. Your question, please.
What?
Have you got a question?
Yeah, I want to ask you a question about exercise number 1, page
Exercise
44.
number 1. Which book? Activity or student?
Activity book.
Activity book. Exercise number 1. Which page, please?
44.
44. You are
44.
welcome. Follow us, please. You are welcome, Paul.
Thank you.
Follow us, and we are going to explain. Yes, Mr. Marwan is going to answer your question.
Thank
Okay,
you.
just follow up, please. This question is about rearranging words to form a whole sentence. All of these 5 sentences are conditional sentences. You have to arrange them without altering or changing. If she want me, without altering but the main verb. If she want me to help her, she asked me. If she wanted, the sentence will read like this. If she wanted me to help her, she would ask me. This is a second conditional. As I said earlier, in the exam, you don't have this kind of question, because I know the exam is your concern. You will have a sentence, as we have been doing. You have a sentence with 2 parts. One part is already solved, and you have to solve the other part, the if clause or the main clause. This kind of exercise is a kind of rehearsal. It's a kind of practice to let the students know the use of the conditional sentence and how we form the conditional sentence with different ideas. The second one, I do it if you ask me. I do it if you ask me. The sentence will read like this. I don't know if he asked me or not, so I say, I would do it. I would do it if you asked me. Also second conditional. I would do it if you asked me. Okay?
Is it clear? Is it clear, dear Paul? If you are following, and it's shown on the laptop, so it's exercise number 1, as Mr. Marwan said. I would do it if you asked me. Here, the second type of the condition, the second condition, okay? I would do. Is it clear? Would you please complete?
Yes. Third one, we have the words, if I break my mother's vase, she be very angry. You know, because we are dealing with vases and my mother, we can't use the first conditional here because it is not a future action, or because it is not a general fact. So we have to say or to use the second conditional. If I broke my mother's vase, she would be angry. If I broke my mother's vase, she would be very angry. Or my mother would be angry if I broke her vase, if you like to change some of the words. The fourth sentence, you not be so tired if you go to bed earlier. Someone here is giving some kind of advice. Someone is advising his
Giving
friend or
advice.
other, giving advice
Yes.
that because his friend or his brother is tired, he's giving advice like, you wouldn't be so tired if you went to bed earlier. So you have to go to bed earlier. This is the advice here. If you asked me, why do we use the second conditional here, I will answer you, it's a kind of advice to other people. So you have to go to bed, but you are not always doing this, or you don't do this in general. So you wouldn't be so tired if you went to bed earlier. So you have to go to bed earlier. This is the idea. The last one, if I leave my homework at home, get into trouble. So the sentence would be like, if I left my homework at home, I would get into trouble. It is also a second conditional. By the way, this sentence can be used in the first conditional if someone is speaking to himself. If I leave my homework at home, I will be in trouble. If I'm speaking to myself, I can't leave my homework at home. If I leave it, I will be in trouble. But when we are addressing someone else or talking about doing the exercise here, it's preferable to use the second conditional. If I left my homework at home, because I don't do this. I don't leave my homework at home. I take it to school. If I left my homework at home, I would get into trouble. This is the last one. Any other questions?
Is it clear, dear Paul? Thank you very much, Mr. Marwan.
So all
for
of them, just to
clarifying.
remind, all of them are in the second conditional type, second conditional sentence.
Well, thank you very much. And is it clear, dear Paul? Are you with us? Still with us? Okay. Yes, follow us. Okay, we are going to continue talking about correcting the verbs in brackets. And we are ready to receive all the calls from all our dear students as well as colleagues if you have any query. Okay. Now we're to talk about the last sentence.
Yes.
Yes, please.
The last sentence here also we have second conditional. We have were in the if clause, second
Yes.
conditional, and we have to continue with the would plus infinitive. So the sentence will be, if there were no legal systems, some people would behave badly.
Right.
Okay, so
If
it's
there
second.
were no legal systems, some people would behave badly.
Yes.
Some people would behave badly if there were no legal systems. Yes, thank you very much. Let's now we have finished talking about the conditional sentences, the grammar focused in this unit, the conditions, and the
I
second
just need
condition.
to add something,
Go ahead.
please.
Yes,
Yeah, thank
yes,
you.
please.
Thank you for allowing me.
You are welcome.
Okay. Concerning English in general, to those who want to, we are going to talk about this later, but concerning those who like English and want to improve their English, focus on the second conditional. Why? If you have to ask me why are all the exercises in the second conditional and a few exercises are in the first conditional? The first conditional is something general. If you do something, if you will blah blah blah. See, this is the meaning. But the second conditional, you present ideas. You present ideas contrary to facts. So, when you learn English, try to use the second conditional. Try to put it into a context. When you talk to your friend, try to use this kind of condition. It's very important in English.
That's right.
The third conditional is to speak about the past. But how do you express something contrary to present, contrary to fact? Use the second conditional. You will not memorize it by heart. No, use it. Use it in live context, live situation, in order to improve your English. We will talk about this later at the end, or at the end of this session. I guess we have something to talk about this.
Before talking about the other skill, we have a phone call. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Would you please speak up in order to be able to hear you? Good afternoon. We have Pierre from Latakia. Hello, Pierre.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm fine.
What grade are you in, Pierre?
I'm grade 9.
Grade 9. Very nice. Are you studying?
I can't hear you.
What about your English? English study. Is it perfect? I think and I can hear that he speaks English really well, right? You are welcome, Pierre. Yes, please, go ahead. Do you have a question?
I want to ask you about exercise number 3 for page 44.
Which book, please?
Exercise number 3,
Activity
page
book,
44.
exercise number 3, page 44. Yes, you are welcome. Follow
Yes,
us,
please.
and Ms. Ruba is ready to answer your question. You are welcome.
Thank
Pierre.
you.
Yes, please.
Okay. In this exercise, we are going to do how would things be different. We are going to read each situation and complete the sentences. The first one is done, but I will read it. I'm not going to watch the football match tonight. It ends so late. We have to put the second conditional. If the football match didn't end so late, I would go and watch it tonight.
Very good.
Yes. Here we use the second conditional. We don't speak English outside the classroom, so we don't improve. We are going to say, we would improve if we spoke English outside the classroom.
That's right. Thank you.
Yes.
So you notice, Pierre, right?
Pierre,
You notice that here we have a situation and you have to complete, we have the sentence. We don't speak English outside the classroom. The majority of our students don't speak English outside, so we want to improve. If we don't speak, we don't improve.
Yes.
So as Ms. Ruba said, we would improve if we spoke English. We would improve if we spoke English outside the classroom. Right? Are you following? Okay. Yes,
Yes.
please complete.
Number 3, the weather is bad, so we aren't going to the beach. If the weather was good, we would go to the beach. So because the weather is bad, we couldn't go to the beach. But if the weather was good, we would go to the beach.
That's right. Thank you very much. And we have another phone call. Sorry for
Okay.
interrupting you. We have from Damascus. Good afternoon. Al Hassan from Damascus. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. From Damascus, we have a phone call. Yes, good afternoon.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Would you please speak up because we can't hear in the studio
I can't
here?
hear you. Please, can you turn up your voice?
Yes?
I want to ask you a question, please.
Yes, you can. You can. Are you a student or a teacher?
I can't hear you, please.
I can't hear me. Are you a teacher or a student?
I'm a student.
You are a student. What grade are you in?
I can't hear you. I can't.
What grade are you in?
Sorry, I can't hear you.
Sorry, I'm asking you about the grade. Yes, please, if you have a question. Go ahead.
Yeah, I have a question, please.
Yes.
In imagination sentence, can I use I was instead of I were, or I must use a were specifically?
Well, would you please speak up and repeat your question really talk slowly because we can't hear.
In an
imagination
imagination
you are talking
sentence.
about imagination.
Can I use in an imagination sentence? Can I use I was instead of I were, or I must use a were specifically?
I was or I were. No, you are free to use either I was or I were, but you know it's more familiar to use I were, right?
Yeah.
We didn't talk about in details because we don't want to focus on this grammar. You are free. You can either choose I was or I were. When we talk about the second condition, is this your question, right? When we talk, and Mr. Marwan was clarifying the point that when we talk about the second condition, you can use if I was, if I were you, well, I would do so and so. Would you like to add something to answer here? Is it clear?
No, I have one question.
Yes?
Thanks for helping.
Sorry?
I have one question only. Thanks for
Yes.
helping.
Yes, you are welcome.
You're
You are
welcome.
welcome. Yes, thank you very much. Let's go back to what we were talking about.
We
Is
were
it in
doing exercise
Yes,
number
this-
3,
yes.
yes.
Number 3.
Yes, here we are in number 4, sentence number
Number
4,
four.
yes. I can't help you. I'm not good at maths.
Yes.
So if I were good at maths, I would help you.
Yes.
But because I'm not good, I'm bad at maths, so
Well,
I wouldn't help you.
I'm not good at math.
Yes.
Okay.
Can I add something to this
course.
sentence? Which number?
Number
Four.
4.
4 to the student who was calling.
Yes, of course.
She asked about
Was and where.
This sentence will answer her. The sentence number 4. I can't help you. I'm not good at math. I'm not good at math, but I wish. I wish. When you are, I said, when you are wishful, when you wish for something, use were. And as I said, if in the exam you put was or were, both would be accepted. If you put was or were, both would be accepted. But in formal English, we have to use were because we are wishful. This is the rule. When you wish for something, use were. I'm not good at math. I wish.
I wish.
If I were good, I'm not good. If I were good at math, I would, etc. That's it.
right.
Sorry
Thank you
for
very much.
interruption.
Yes.
Don't worry. Now, sentence number 5. I don't understand this book. The language is so difficult. I would understand this book if the language weren't so difficult. So if it's easy, I would understand it and I would...
That's right. Thank you very
Yes.
much. And we have another phone call from Latakia also. Yes, very active today. Good
Latakia.
afternoon. Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
Yes, how are you? We have
I'm
Ola
fine.
from Latakia. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, how are you, Ola?
I'm good.
Yes, it's nice to hear it, to hear that you are good. What
Thank
grade are you in?
I'm grade 9.
Grade 9. We're very nice. Are you following us, Ola? We were talking
Very
about the
active.
conditional
Yes, yes.
sentences. Right. Have you got a question?
Yes, please.
Yes, please, go ahead. We are ready to answer.
Okay. I want to ask you about exercise number 4, page 45.
Exercise number 4, page
Page-
45, activity book, you mean? Activity book, right?
Yes.
We have, yes, exercise
Yes.
5, 4 or 5, she said? 4?
Number
40.
4.
Number 4?
Yeah,
It's in 44.
44, yes. We are
44.
still in the same page, 44.
Yeah.
Yes, we are ready to answer. You are welcome. And here we have over to you to write sentences. What would you do if? What would you do if?
I think we are going to talk about it.
We are going to talk
later
about
on. Yeah,
this.
it's a kind of giving advice.
Yes, because
What would you do if you were in a special or specific situation?
that's right. We are
So,
going to talk about
yeah.
it later, but
Yeah.
we can do it for her now.
Yeah.
As she asked, what would do if you found someone's keys in the street? What would you do? Would you like to answer, Ms. Ruba? What would you do
Yeah.
is if you found someone's keys in the street? What would you do? Well, here you say, if I found someone's keys in the street, I would tell the police.
The police, maybe, yes.
I'd go and ask my friends. I would search for the person. Well,
Yes.
there are many possibilities, so I would do something. Okay?
Yeah,
Of course.
you have many ideas.
Many options.
If I find someone keys in the streets, I would give them to the nearest shop assistant.
Right.
See, to the nearest shop. I found this in the street. If someone asked for them, they are in your
In your
possession.
hands.
You know? Yeah.
Right, that's right. Are you following, Ola?
Yes. Yes, yes.
So sorry. As a student, because the exercise is over to you. As a student, you have to compose. You know the meaning of compose. You have to write a conditional sentence in order
Yes.
to practice the conditional sentence using these 4 ideas. What would you do if you found, if you forget, if you lost? The second one, for example, if I may go
Yes.
on,
Yes, of course.
you forgot your mother's birthday. You forgot your mother's birthday.
So what would you do?
Of course, the question is, what would you do if you forgot your mother's birthday? It's a chance to say hello to all mothers in the world. God bless them all. If I forgot my mother's birthday, I would be so angry. I would be so sad because mothers can't be forgotten at all. So it's a kind of conditional sentences. You may go on because I'm impressed when talking about mothers.
Okay.
Yes, we are all
Yes.
impressed. Right, that's
Okay.
right. God bless them all. Yes. So
The
yes,
third
please.
one, yes. If I lost my new bicycle, maybe I'd buy a new one.
Very nice.
Yes.
Well, if I lost my new bicycle, I
I
would
can
buy a new one.
A new one, yes.
I
Thank
would
you.
save up.
I would say
I would save up some
Yes.
money to buy a new one.
Yes.
Yes.
And
You
last
borrowed
one,
friend's
yeah?
book,
Yes, Mr.
then lost
Yes.
it. What would you do? You borrowed friend's book, then lost it.
If I borrowed a friend's book, then I lost it, I would buy her a new one.
That's right. Very nice. Very nice.
I would be so embarrassed.
Yes, dear
And
Ola.
I wouldn't know what to do.
Dear, are you following, dear Ola? If you are
Yes,
following,
yes.
what would you do? I would like to ask you this question. If you borrowed a friend's book, then you lost it, what would you do, Ola?
I can't hear you.
If you borrowed, if you took
You know
a
the meaning
friend's
of borrowed?
book,
Does
yes,
she know the
knows.
meaning of-
I hope that she knows. If you took a friend's book, okay? Do you hear me now? If you took a friend's book, then you lost it. What would you do, Ola? What would you do, dear? If you borrowed a friend's book, then you lost it.
Okay.
Well, you would do something. You would buy a new one, right?
Yes, yes.
This is the exercise. I would like to say that please follow us because we are going to talk in this seminar about giving advice, and we would like to clarify this point. What would you do in certain occasions, in certain situations, okay? Thank you for calling. Any other question?
No, thank you.
You are welcome. You are welcome. Follow us, and thank you. Thank you, colleagues, because we are always ready to answer the students' questions. Okay. Now we were talking about another skill, which is the
Reading.
the reading. Would you please speak about reading? Sorry, I was interested in the laptop. Something happened.
Yes.
Well, we were talking about the reading, and you know that we have this skill. It's this important skill.
Yeah.
And in Unit 8, would you like to talk to tell us about it,
Yes.
please?
In this module, we have to talk about the bird city, which is in episode 4. I will not talk about it because I talked about it
earlier.
earlier, yes.
Yes.
Also, we have a problem page. In this text, we have four people, Hugo, Isabel, Asma, and Carlos. All of them have problems, and they asked for an advice from a counselor.
That's very nice.
Yes, it's
you mean that
interesting.
in this page
We have problem
problems to be
solving.
solved,
Yes.
okay? And we have a few characters
Yes.
who have problems
Yes,
and
they
need
asked
solution.
the counselor to have an advice.
Good.
Also, we have problems and puzzles. Here we have problem-solving strategies. How can we solve any problem? And we have some interesting puzzles.
Yes,
I
very
advise
nice.
you to read them.
Yes,
They are very
problems and
interesting.
puzzles.
Yes.
Yes, I hope that students read the puzzles
They
and
are
do
very
them.
interesting.
Critical thinking, think about the problem, find solution for it. Thank you very much. This is about, we know that we have also other skills. What other skills, Mr. Marwan, have we got in Unit 8 that should be talked about?
We have two skills which are listening and speaking. I think these two skills cannot be separated because when you listen, you have to speak. So speaking comes after listening. In this part of the book or in this page, we have students or listen to how to deal with or solve puzzles and how to deal with mathematical problems or mathematical issues. So they will be able at the end of this session to know what they are listening to, and after that they will be able to express themselves depending on what they listened to previously.
That's right. Thank
Yeah.
you very much. Yes, I would like to interrupt. There is a phone call, another
Yeah.
phone call. Good afternoon from Latakia. We have a phone
Hello.
call. Yes, Marah.
Yes.
Marah, good afternoon, Marah.
Good afternoon.
How are you?
I'm good.
Are you a student or a teacher?
I'm a student.
You are a student. Are you in grade 9?
Yes.
Yes, you are welcome. Have you got a question?
Yes, please.
Yes. What's your question, Marah?
I can't hear you.
Yes.
I can't hear you.
Would you please, Marah, speak up? Speak up, please.
The question on the student book.
In the student's book, yes. Yes. What page?
What?
What page? Student
65.
book. Page
65, number 8.
65, number 8. In
Yes.
number 8, in the student book, well, here we have the intention to talk about it. It's about writing, because you
Yes.
know that in this unit we have this skill writing, which is very important. Here,
Yes.
dear Marah, you are going to write. What's your question concerning the
Can I
writing?
write about anything? What does it mean?
Well, this exercise
can I
8,
answer? Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
Mr.
yeah.
Marwan is going to answer you.
Yeah.
Yes.
First, Marah, first you have to look at exercise number 7, which is speaking. In exercise number 7, you have to speak about one of the subjects. One of the
Okay.
subjects mentioned, for example, science, art, maths, English, a subject you like. You
Yes.
like to study or you like to speak about. Exercise 8 says, write explanations for the list you made in exercise 7. So in exercise 7, we make a list for the things we are going to talk about, and then write a composition. You can write about a subject you like, not all the subject, but you have to make a list. For example, I like maths, English, social studies.
English. I like English.
Yeah, English.
Very nice.
Yeah, what concerns me most, what I like most is English, and you explain your choice. Why do you like English? You say, is it difficult? Why is it interesting for you? You know, you have to justify your choice. So, if you look back to at exercise 7, we have food. If you would like to talk about food, for example, chicken, tomatoes, cake, you got also the same procedure. You have to explain and justify your choice. Just write about one thing, but make a list. Why do you like it? Why you don't like it?
That's right. As Mr. Marwan, thank you very much for talking. Mr. Marwan, we said that this is to write a paragraph. We have sentences. You choose, as Mr. Marwan said, we choose things, then we arrange the sentences together with linking words, right?
Yeah, many subjects. We can include many subjects and
Okay.
talk about or focus on one subject
On one.
because we like this subject and why. That's it.
Okay.
That's it. Is it clear, dear Mara?
Yes.
Is it clear? So
Yes.
you are ready now to write a paragraph. Yes, you have to put ideas to speak about the subjects, then join the sentences together, use the linking words, and you have a very excellent paragraph. Right?
Thank you.
Ready? You are welcome. You are welcome. Follow us. Yes, please. Yes, we were talking about the other skills. Marah talked and we talked about the writing. Now we have the listening and speaking, as Mr. Marwan was telling us. Yes, please.
I said first we have our students at the end of the session will be able to listen to the things I said, problems, mathematical puzzle, etc. And then students will be able to express themselves using the skill of speaking, using simple language and simple phrases. They will use many techniques, so to speak, or procedures like speculating, predicting ideas,
Giving
giving advice to someone, asking for advice, asking a counselor. As Mr. Ruba said earlier, the counselor might be your father, your mother, your sister, your brother, etc. So Students will be able to practice the skill of speaking using the ideas that they have dealt with during this session.
That's right. Thank you very much. So to speak, you have to listen. Students should be able to understand what they are listening to and to speak English all the time through many activities while giving advice. And Unit 8 tell us how. Yes, please, Ms. Ruba.
Now we can give advice in many ways. We have many expressions that the counselor can use to give advice. The first way is if I were you. For example, if I were you, I'd study harder.
Good.
So here I give advice using if I were you. And we can use another way or another expression, which is why don't you? For example, I can say, why don't you do more sports?
Yes, that's right.
Yes. Or you can use the third expression, which is you should. For example, I can say, you should take the stairs instead of the lift.
That's right. So to give advice, to speak, we use these expressions, as you said, Ms. Ruba, thank you. If I were you, why don't you?
And
or
you
should in order to give advice. That's right. Well, we have, I think we have things on the problem page, as you said earlier, that we have some problems, students, people produce, and they need a solution for their problems. Would you please tell us about this? We'll hear Mr. Marwan.
Yeah.
Which problem are you going to talk about?
You know, speaking skills, students can practice using short phrases like, or as Ms. Ruba said, if I were you, why don't you? There are a lot of phrases in English to give advice, but we can use if I were you. For example,
that's right, Mr.
we have the name Asma in the book. She said, I'd
Mr.
like,
Marwan, I am afraid that we can't speak about asthma, that we gave our students useful advice that they use these expressions, but we are short of time, and now we need to end. So as we said, that we use the expressions in order to solve problems.
Yeah, short phrases.
Yes, short phrases, but we are short of time, and it finished. Thank you for joining me in this session. It was really useful, really interesting. Thank you. Thank you, dear, for joining us today, and I hope to meet later on. Thank you, and I hope good luck for all the students in grade 9, all the grades. And goodbye.